Today we're going to be installing some really simple mods to your motorcycle that's going to make your commute way better. We're looking at a tail bag, an SAE lead, a throttle lock or a cruise control system, and a battery tender. I'm going to walk through all of these mods, why we're installing them, and how to install them on today's Suzuki GSX 8R. This is a giveaway motorcycle on yammynoob.co. Hit that link down below, support the show, pick up a hat, a t-shirt, whatever you want. Every dollar you spend will be an entry to win this motorcycle. I've given away 50 motorcycles this past 5 years to lucky fans of the channel. It might as well be you. Okay, let's walk over all of these mods and how to install them. The first mod we're installing, and one that I think should absolutely be a staple on your motorcycle, is a tail bag or a tank bag. In this case, we went with a tail bag just because I like the feeling of having a tail bag over having something right in front of my chest while I'm riding. This one is provided to us by Nelson Rig. It's actually the same brand that I personally use on my Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled. These things are really cool because they're universal. They actually utilize a strapping system where as long as you have 4 anchor points or figure something out on your motorcycle, you can probably get the thing on there. They've also got a nice little rain guard as well, and the best part is they are expandable. So you can get a little bit of extra height on these things, fit in a little bit more stuff in there, and you'd be surprised how much you can fit even in this smaller sport light bag that they sell. Let's get this installed on the tail of the Suzuki GSX 8R, and let's move on to our next mods. All right, so as you guys can see, this bag has 4 anchor points on it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're gonna remove the seat right here, and then we're gonna take these straps that come with the unit, and we're actually gonna route them underneath the seat and get something that's gonna fit nice and stealth. I don't like having a bunch of straps hanging off my bike. If I can get the bag as stealth as possible, that's gonna be the best bet. So I'm gonna install this real quick, and we're gonna check in. The seat unit on the GSX 8R actually has these little straps that pop out of the seat here. I might use these as an anchor point for the tail bag, but I think we can also get away with just wrapping it around the seat itself, because these straps that come with the Nelson Rig bag are designed to be looped through themselves like this and create an anchor point on a fixed point on the motorcycle. However, this Suzuki is a little bit tricky because the tail is so stumpy and there's really no good anchor point on the back here. So we're gonna use the seat and see how that goes. So we've taken the anchor point off the Suzuki, this little strap here, and we've tied our loops for the other straps around it. And I actually think it's gonna work perfectly well. So I'm gonna do it on the other side, stitch it all up, and get this bag on there. All right, the seat is back on it. Our straps have a nice anchor point. We just need to tighten them up a little bit, reduce them down with the attached thing right here, get them on the bag, and we're good to go. Let's do that. One note while you're doing this, make sure you work each side a little bit slowly, one by one, and make sure that the unit is nice and secured as you do that. But yeah, I mean, you can really tie this down any way you want that is going to be secure for you. It's just happened that on this Suzuki, you can just use the seat and that anchor point, and that's pretty good on there. I tucked away all the excess cable for this tail bag on the seat here. And the cool part is, since I attached it to the seat, it can come off with the seat as well. This is a completely reversible modification. All you've done is just attached a bag to the actual motorcycle unit. You see the seat has slotted into place there. We removed the key, and now the bag is nice and secure. Now, I wouldn't take this bike off of any crazy jumps and expect the seat to stay on there, but if you're just riding around and commuting on street conditions, this bag will definitely hold in place. It is nice and secure and strapped in. And the coolest part is we've added a ton of storage over here. So you got all this storage inside the bag, underside of it, top here, expandable. And the coolest part is if you want to go and do a little bit of a tour with your GSX 8R, you can totally do that. Toss some, patch kits, inflators, kind of long distance stuff in here. If you want to reduce the load on a backpack, you can just toss stuff in here. Having a small bag like this on your motorcycle, if it is your kind of everyday do-it-all vehicle, is a must. Now let's look through another must. It's the SAE Lead. So now we're installing an SAE Lead on this motorcycle. That's going to be this connector right here, as you guys can see. This is a quick connector for a battery tender, but also for a wide variety of tools and accessories. I actually have one of these SAE leads on my Ducati Scrambler Desert sled, and I keep an inflator kit in my motorcycle that actually has a pump that activates based on this and uses the motorcycle's battery. So these are super useful for keeping your battery topped up if you're not going to be riding your bike for very long. If you leave it sitting in the garage, the battery can drain over time, and keep it topped up. You can plug in different tools. You can even use them for a quick jump. I've seen people do that. These are very, very useful. You'll see here at the end of the red terminal, we have this little 7.5 amp fuse. So if you ever find that this is not working, check the fuse, see if it's blown. You look inside and see if the little metal is snapped in the middle there. That's a safety precaution. So this install is very simple. We're just going to be attaching red to red, black to black, and fishing it through the side of the subframe for a nice clean install. All right, we've got red connected to red, black to black. We've passed it, fished it through the subframe right here for a nice clean install. We don't have anything dangling. And now we're gonna plug it into the battery tender and just make sure it works. Light is on, things are good. Battery tender works. Okay, so we've got our battery tender lead installed. So now, like I told you guys, you can install accessories or things on top of that. So this is a small USB charger right here. You guys can see that right there. And the lead for it is actually SAE. So if you wanted to pull out that lead and not use it as a battery tender for a while, you could plug this in directly and wire up the phone charger like we're going to do on this motorcycle. But I actually have a separate lead that I'm going to be wiring independently because I like to have the SAE out to the side of the motorcycle for batteries or accessories while the motorcycle is running. You know, if you're gonna run a tire inflator or something like that. And then I also like an independent SAE and USB lead going out to the phone so that I can keep my phone charged while I'm riding, that sort of thing, and it's gonna work really well with the phone mount we have up there. Again, these are all convenience and comfort modifications that you're gonna be doing on your motorcycle. They're really easy to do that are gonna make your ride vastly improved. So let's get this installed and then let's route the cables underneath the gas tank and get it up to the phone mount in a nice clean way. Normally when you want to route a USB cable like this underneath the gas tank on a motorcycle, the vast majority of motorcycles, Japanese one in particular, they have a very small spindly little bolt here holding the gas tank in place. And typically you can pop off a couple of bolts here at the front and the gas tank will literally swivel upwards and you can get underneath and do some very small work. I usually like putting a mallet or something to hold it in place. The Suzuki GSX 8R has quite a bit of plastic around the gas tank up here at the front. As you have had to remove quite a bit of those pieces. And the gas tank does not want to seem to swivel or move upwards. So instead of spending all day here trying to figure out how to remove the gas tank on a Suzuki GSX 8R, we're gonna be intelligent and just route the USB cable underneath as much as we can here off to the side and get it up towards the rock form mount. just noticed that this bolt that passes through the lower part of the fairing here actually does connect to the gas tank. I didn't think it would go that far down, so I'll remove both of these on both sides, and we should be able to swivel this tank. All right, now I've got enough clearance to wiggle this gas tank just a little bit up and out of the way so that I can fish that line through. We removed the USB slack all the way to the back here by pulling it when it was underneath the gas tank. We made sure to not contact any fuel rails or anything like that, but this is a pretty small, malleable cable, so it's much more likely that this will fail rather than a fuel line or something like that. Now at the top, we have the iPhone Lightning cable USB with a little bit of slack to pop into the phone here. We're gonna clean this up with a little bit of zip tie, get it nice and tight to the bike, and put a little cap on this so that it doesn't rust out in wet weather. This is the cruise control we're installing on the GSX-8R. It's the Atlas throttle lock. I've used this on the desert sled. This is the top mount kit because, as you guys will see on the housing, we need to make sure that the friction pad here is going to be pushing up against that firm surface. So the way this works is you have these two pieces right here. You actually slot this one into place, and this actually ratchets along this like that. That clamps this unit onto the grip, and then if you see here, when you push this button, this little tab pops open. That is what allows you to fit the different friction pads onto it like that. And so you open the grip, you push that button, and you're cruising. It's very safe because there's nothing locking the throttle. I don't like throttle locks. I highly prefer this system because it's just a friction pad. If you roll off, you have still complete control over the throttle, and that's a really nice thing. So let's go and install this bad boy on the GSX-8R. So you will likely have to roll back your grips like I've done here. I had to slightly modify the end of this so that our Atlas could slot into place. Not a big deal. I've had to do it on many motorcycles before. So now we have a nice gap between here and the actual throttle body housing right here where the starter relay is. And so now we can slot in the Atlas and make this fit nice and easy. Super straightforward install on the Atlas. We got the friction pad, we tightened it up. It's right against the collar of the grip. We're using the OEM grip, so it's a little not so nice right here, but I approve of it because of the functionality. You can see we have complete open control of the throttle, and if we want to cruise, you simply press that button down and we are cruising. But most important of all, it is not locked. It's simply a friction pad that pushes up against it. So if you're cruising right here, you want to cancel, you go like that, if you're cruising and you want to cancel, you just roll off. So very safe, very ingenious solution. Big fan of these, and added a huge amount of functionality to a motorcycle that desperately needs cruise control from the factory, but we're able to solve for it. Now this GSX-8R is a real everyday commuter bike. We got storage, we got cruise control, we got phone charging, navigation, we got all kinds of things on this machine that would make it an awesome everyday motorcycle or even a casual long distance ride. I'm looking at this bike and kind of thinking I want to go do a little 300 or 400 mile ride with it. What do you guys think? Do you think this thing is specced out and nice as it is? We got fresh tires on it and everything else I need to go plunked out some miles and get this thing close to its 600 mile service. I think that would be a ton of fun to do as well with this machine. Hope you guys enjoyed today's rundown on some essential commuter mods, some really easy stuff you can do in the garage to really up the value on your motorcycle to you and make it more efficient and more comfortable. Remember, this giveaway bike is listed on yammynoob.co. Go and become a member and check out everything we have to offer over there. Get automatic entries to win, pick up a hat, a t-shirt, a hoodie, anything you want. Get access to our amazing Discord server and our exclusive NSFW newsletter. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Keep watching Yammy Noob!